Let's start with your busy 2 weeks here, because you've been in the center. You've really led the appropriators in negotiating out this deal. You got the deal done now, as I understand it, bipartisan, Republicans and Democrats. Where are you in the drafting?
Well, I'm hoping that all the details can be worked out within the next 24 hours. But you never know. It's in the interest of everyone to get this done and not to take any more time going back and forth on little details. But we're reaching out to everyone, and I hope there will be strong support. I'm always an optimist, and I think we're almost there.
Well, it's never over till it's over, as you know better than anyone. There are various reports out today that, in fact, there are some disagreements popping up between the Democrats and Republicans. As far as you know, are those material? Do you think they could stop this deal at this late stage?
Anything could stop a deal at this late stage. So unless everything is agreed to, we can't shout hallelujah. We have to make sure that this good deal is done.
Give us a preview. Assume that you actually get the deal done. It gets enacted as a bill. President Trump signs it. We wake up Saturday morning. What are we going to look at in this bill and say, boy, I didn't know that was in there? Are there a lot of other things beyond what we've talked about with border security?
Oh, come on, David. There's a long list of all kinds of things in there, and we have got to get it passed. You know, there are the other bills that have all been agreed to, so we must be sure that the border security is dealt with and all the other bills are part of this agreement. This is a big deal, and it would be a big mistake on the part of anyone, Democrat, Republican, not to agree to work out the deals. I understand people have passions on all kinds of issues, but this is the time to get together, bipartisan way, get this done, and I'm glad to hear that the president said he would sign this deal.
Yes, that's what the president is indicating, without a doubt. Let me play for you just a little bit of what he said yesterday. I'm sure you know about it, but just listen to what he said yesterday, and I want to ask you about it.
I can't say I'm happy. I can't say I'm thrilled, but the wall's getting built.
Okay, he's not happy, but he's indicated to various people, as Bloomberg has reported, that he will sign it. But I'm curious also about the walls getting built. What does that tell you about whether he's going to find money somewhere else to build what you're not appropriating for?
Look, if you think I can predict what this president is going to do or not to do, or what he'll tweet about or write about, I wouldn't dare to predict. All I know, this is a good agreement, and it's an agreement that Democrats and Republicans should move on. And to have 1.37 for barriers is a good deal, and I'm very pleased we were able to get together.
You are the chief appropriator, if I can call you that, as chairwoman of the House Appropriations Committee. What kind of difficulties would it raise if the president then went on and declared an emergency and found money somewhere else? We have Senator Blunt from Missouri, for example, saying he's already found $800 million in a drug program that hasn't been used yet. What would that do to the appropriations process?
I think it would show a really unprofessional way of managing not only the appropriations process, but the Congress. And so it's a big mistake. Senator Blunt is an outstanding senator. I have very, very positive dealings with him. But for him or anyone to be looking for ways to subvert the deal is a big mistake. Beware.
So, Madam Chairwoman, you've been in the middle of this process, having worked now with your counterparts, both on the other side of the aisle in the House as well as over on the Senate side. What does this tell us, if anything, about moving forward beyond this? I mean, at some point, you want to get to an agenda that goes beyond just the border wall and keeping the government open. Does this indicate that maybe we can get together and actually get other legislation through, or does this actually tell us it's just really too hard?
Well, I'm pleased to hear you say that, because Senator Shelby is a friend. He's an outstanding legislator. He's chair of the Appropriations Committee in the Senate. Senator Lowey is a friend. We've all worked together. Kay Granger is my counterpart in the House. If we can get this done, then we can work together to deal with the many challenges we have, both domestic and internationally. And I would hope that we can optimistically face the future. So let's get this done now.
So finally, let's come closer to home, my home and your home, New York State. You're from New York State. As you know so well, Amazon chose New York, actually Queens, as part of its place for headquarters, second headquarters. And you were supportive of that. Now there's some backfire on that, and maybe that shouldn't work so well. And we've even heard Amazon itself saying we might take a second look at it. What is your take on that? How likely is it that that will go forward, and how important is that to your constituents?
I must tell you, David, that I am so totally focused on getting this deal through the House and the Senate that I haven't interacted on the Amazon deal. I know there are a lot of positive rationale for it and some negative, and I'm hoping we can get together because anything that produces jobs is very important to me and the people in Westchester or all throughout New York. But I have respect for those who have real questions, and I do hope they can be resolved satisfactorily.
And finally, Madam Chairwoman, what's next? I mean, once you've got this all behind you, what's next on your agenda? What do you really have as your target that you'd like to get accomplished in this Congress?
What's next? As chair of the Appropriations Committee, we're already late. This is February. We're starting hearings. We have to pass 12 bills next year. The government goes on. We have needs, whether it's education, housing, Head Start, environmental issues, international issues. We have a lot of work to do. We're starting our hearings on appropriations, and I'm hoping we can continue bipartisan efforts to get our work done and not to come to a climax where everyone is kind of on pins and needles. We have to work together in a bipartisan way now.